Hey everyone, welcome to our English podcast, the best place for English learners. Here you learn English in unique way by listening English podcast. Today our topic is something very special, artificial intelligence. And at the end, we will share some unique tips about English speaking skills, so watch till end. Let's start.
Okay, let's dive in. Artificial intelligence.ai. It's a term you hear everywhere now, isn't it?
Absolutely everywhere.
And it feels like it's shifted really fast from being this, futuristic idea to something that's actually, shaping things right now.
Yeah.
And definitely the future.
That's right. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it might still bring up images of sentient robots from movies.
Right.
But the reality, as you said, is that AI is already woven into our daily lives, sometimes in ways we don't even consciously notice.
Exactly. And that's really what we want to unpack in this deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
We've pulled together information from, all sorts of places, looking at the basics, the core ideas, but also the really cutting edge stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The aim is to give you, the listener, a clearer picture of what's actually going on with AI. We want to hit the essentials, without getting lost in super technical jargon.
You mystify it a bit.
That's the mission. What is AI fundamentally? What are the big trends right now? And importantly, what are some of the key things we should all be thinking about?
Sounds like a plan. We want to build that solid understanding, like you said, without making it overly complicated. So maybe the best place to start is, what is artificial intelligence? When we use that term, what do we actually mean?
Good question. Well, at its core, it's really about building machines, computer systems that can do things that normally need human intelligence.
Okay. Like what sort of things?
Things like learning from experience, reasoning through problems, making decisions, understanding language, that kind of stuff. Teaching computers to sort of mimic cognitive abilities.
And it's probably helpful here to make a distinction when you often hear between so-called narrow AI and general AI, sometimes called weak and strong AI.
Ah, right. Good point. Narrow AI.
Narrow AI is what we mostly have today. It's AI that's designed and trained for one specific task. Think about, say, the recommendation engine on Netflix or Spotify.
Okay.
It's really good at suggesting shows or songs you might like based on your history. But, that's all it does. It can't suddenly decide to drive a car or diagnose a medical condition.
Right. It's very specialized, great for movie night, like you said, but it's not going to write a prize-winning novel anytime soon.
Exactly. General AI, or artificial general intelligence, AGI, that's the more theoretical concept. That would be an AI with human-like cognitive abilities across the board.
So able to learn, reason, and apply intelligence to pretty much any task a human could.
That's the idea, yeah.
And based on what we've seen, that kind of AGI, it's still firmly in the realm of research and science fiction for now, right?
Very much so. So those worries about, hyper-intelligent robot overlords.
We can maybe put those on hold for...
We breathe easily for now, yes.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating, I think, is that even though AI feels so current, so now, the ideas behind it actually go back quite a way.
Oh, definitely. It didn't just spring up in the last few years. You can trace the roots back to, the 1950s?
Yeah, mid-20th century. People like Alan Turing were already thinking about machine intelligence, posing that famous question, can machines think?
The Turing test.
Exactly. And then a really key moment was the Dartmouth Conference in 1956.
Ah, yes, where the name came from.
Precisely. That's where John McCarthy actually coined the term artificial intelligence. It kind of formally launched AI as its own field of research.
And it hasn't been a straight line since then, has it? More like a roller coaster.
That's a good way to put it. There have been periods of huge excitement and breakthroughs, followed by AI winters, times when funding dried up and progress seemed to stall.
Right. Setbacks and leaps forward.
But the recent explosion, the stuff we're seeing now, that's really been fueled by massive advances in machine learning, especially with neural networks, particularly in the last decade or so.
Okay, let's maybe unpack that a little. Machine learning neural networks, they sound complex. But what's the key takeaway for someone trying to grasp the basics?
Well, the core idea is that instead of programming a computer with explicit step-by-step instructions for every single possibility,
which would be impossible for complex tasks.
Right. Instead, you give the computer lots and lots of data, and algorithms allow it to learn patterns from that data on its own.
So it figures things out itself, in a way.
Kind of. Think about how your email filters spam. It wasn't programmed with the list of every single spam phrase.
Yeah, that would be endless.
Exactly. It learned by looking at millions of emails, identifying the characteristics, the patterns, the features that tend to show up in spam, and then it uses that learning to flag new incoming emails. Or think about recognizing faces in photos.
Same principle. Feed it tons of pictures with faces labeled.
And it learns to spot the common patterns that define a face. And this ability to learn from data, that's the engine driving so much of modern AI.
Which brings us neatly to some of the really hot topics right now. Generative AI has to be top of the list, surely.
Oh, absolutely. It's captured the public imagination like few things before it.
It seems like every week there's a new model or a new capability that's just...
It really is remarkable. So generative AI models, they're designed specifically to create new content. That could be text, images, audio, music, even computer code.
Based on the patterns it learned from all the data it was trained on.
Precisely. ChatGPT is probably the most famous example right now, generating human-like text. But there are image generators, music generators. It's a rapidly expanding field.
It's kind of mind-bending to see AI producing creative outputs that, feel quite original sometimes.
It is, and things are getting even more sophisticated. We're seeing the rise of multimodal AI.
Multimodal. Okay, multi meaning many, modal meaning modes.
Yeah.
So different types of data.
Exactly that. These are AI systems that can understand and process information from different types of input at the same time. So it might look at an image, read the text caption associated with it, and maybe even process some related audio.
Okay. So it combines information from different senses, almost like humans do.
That's a great analogy. It integrates information from vision, language, sound, potentially other things too, to get a richer understanding. It makes the AI much more powerful and versatile.
You can see how that would be useful. What else is big right now?
Well, there's the continued push in autonomous technology.
Right. Self-driving cars get a lot of headlines, but it's broader than that, isn't it?
Much broader. Think delivery drones, autonomous robots in warehouses or agriculture, systems that can operate independently in complex environments with minimal or sometimes no direct human control.
Making decisions on their own based on sensor input and their programming.
Yep. And another important area, slightly less flashy maybe, but really significant, is Edge AI.
Edge AI. The name makes me think of processing happening, not in the cloud.
Yeah.
Closer to where the data is generated.
You've got it. That's the core idea. Instead of sending all the data from a device, say your smartphone or a sensor on a factory floor, up to a central cloud server for AI processing, the AI algorithms run directly on the device itself at the edge of the network.
Okay, why is that useful? Speed.
Speed is a big one, yeah. Think about a voice assistant on your phone. If the processing happens locally, the response can be almost instantaneous.
Right, no lag sending data back and forth.
Exactly. But there are other benefits too, like potentially better privacy, because your personal data doesn't necessarily have to leave your device. And it can work even if you don't have an internet connection.
Interesting. So AI isn't just in massive data centers. It's increasingly running on the gadgets we carry around.
That's a key trend. Now, with all these advancements, all this power, there are also some pretty significant challenges and things we need to think about, right?
Absolutely. It's not all just amazing new tech. There are downsides, or at least serious considerations. Bias seems to be a huge one.
A massive one. Because AI systems learn from data. And if that data reflects existing societal biases, well, the AI learns those biases too.
So if historical hiring data shows bias against certain groups, an AI trained on that data might perpetuate or even amplify that bias in screening resumes.
Precisely. We've seen examples of this in hiring, but also in areas like facial recognition systems performing worse on certain demographics, or even in loan applications and policing tools. It's a major ethical challenge.
Definitely. And then there's the whole question of jobs. Automation.
Yeah, the impact on the workforce is a constant topic of discussion. Will AI lead to widespread job displacement as machines become capable of doing tasks previously done by humans?
Or will it be more about transforming jobs? Maybe automating certain tasks within a job, freeing up humans for other things?
It's likely a bit of both. Some jobs might disappear, others will change significantly, and new jobs related to developing and managing AI will emerge. But there's definitely a need to think about supporting workers through that transition.
For sure. And you mentioned privacy earlier with Edge AI, but it's a broader concern, isn't it? Many AI tools need vast amounts of data to work well.
They do, especially personal data. Think about personalized recommendations, health diagnostics, smart assistants. They often rely on knowing a lot about you.
Which raises big questions about how that data is collected, stored, used, and protected. Who has access to it? How secure is it?
These are critical privacy concerns that we're still grappling with how to regulate effectively.
And that ties into the wider field of AI ethics and alignment. Yeah.
Exactly. AI ethics is all about ensuring these powerful systems are developed and deployed responsibly. Alignment is specifically about making sure AI goals remain aligned with human values and intentions as the AI becomes more capable. We want AI to help us, not inadvertently cause harm because its objectives aren't quite right.
Keeping the AI working for us, essentially.
That's the goal. It's a really active and crucial area of research.
So looking ahead then, despite the challenges, the potential seems enormous. Where do you see AI making the biggest impact in the, say, medium-term future?
Oh, the possibilities are vast. In healthcare, we could see AI speeding up drug discovery, enabling much more personalized medicine, maybe even assisting surgeons.
Wow. What about other areas?
Education could become radically personalized, with AI tutors adapting to each student's individual learning pace and style.
That sounds transformative.
It could be. Think about optimizing energy grids for clean power sources, designing new materials, tackling climate change modeling. AI could be a powerful tool in addressing some of our biggest global challenges.
The potential is definitely there. But it sounds like realizing that potential safely requires careful management.
Absolutely. With great power comes the need for guardrails. Regulation will be crucial, finding the right balance between fostering innovation and preventing misuse or unintended consequences.
And presumably this needs to be a global conversation, since AI doesn't really respect borders.
Totally. International cooperation, shared standards for transparency and ethics. These are going to be essential if we want to navigate this future effectively. We need to ensure AI develops in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
And maybe keep humans in the loop. Just a thought.
A very important thought. Keeping human oversight and control is key, especially for critical decisions.
So just to wrap up our main points then, we've kind of journeyed from the basic idea of AI machines mimicking human intelligence.
Right, through its history, the key role of machine learning and data.
To the current buzz around things like generative AI, multimodal systems, and AI running right on our devices.
And we've touched on those really important considerations, the challenges of bias, jobs, privacy, and the need for ethical guidelines.
It's clear AI is already here, and it's evolving incredibly fast. Its impact is only going to grow.
Absolutely. The story of AI is still being written, and it presents both amazing opportunities and some serious thinking points for all of us.
So as you go about your day, maybe notice the ways AI is already interacting with you. Through your phone, online, maybe in ways you hadn't considered before this chat.
Hopefully this deep dive has given you a bit more context, a clearer framework for thinking about this technology that's reshaping so much.
And maybe leaves you with a question to ponder. As AI continues to get smarter and more integrated into society, how do we ensure it truly reflects our best values and helps build the kind of future we actually want?
That's the big question, isn't it? Something for us all to keep thinking about.
To improve your speaking, try talking to yourself in English as you go through your day. Practice with friends or online partners. Record your own voice. It feels strange at first, but it really helps. When you listen back, you might realize you speak better than you thought. It boosts confidence, helps with pronunciation, and gets your mouth used to the movement of English words. And if you found this episode helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more conversations, tips, and listening practice.